All right, welcome to the FeedBak podcast, everybody. My name is Back, and this is episode number 204. Yeah, 204. And I'm really excited. Couple announcements before I introduce today's guest. Number one, do me a favor, go to iTunes, Spotify, wherever you're listening to this show. Leave a comment, a rating. It helps. Share it with your friends. I've been talking to a lot of funny people, a lot of comics. The archives go deep, really deep with DJs and musicians and bartenders and all that good stuff. So um, sharing helps, commenting helps, rating helps, and all that good stuff. And number two, Hip Hop Bingo is returning on Sunday, June 6th. So mark your calendar. I will be sharing more information as we get closer, but just know it will be a hip hop bingo and some comedy. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you follow the FeedBak on Instagram and Real Hip Hop Bingo on Instagram as well for announcements as we get closer to the date. Now, without further ado, let me introduce my guests for this episode. We got the very funny Jared Starling. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, back. I'm just chilling, hanging in there, keeping it cool.
Yeah. Was that a Wakanda or a DMX time you just did?
It was Wakanda and DMX. Shout out to two of the legends. All right, gone but never forgotten.
Yeah. Were you a big DMX fan?
Yeah, I was a huge DMX fan. Everybody was. Like, if you weren't, like, I was one of those weird kids who would just like wear like Rough Rider t-shirts and just start barking, like no out of nowhere.
Hi, Jared. Arr, arr.
Yeah, like yeah, for real. I'm telling you, Rough Riders, Evie.
Yeah.
Nobody was touching them.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, did you watch the Rough Riders Chronicle on BET?
Yeah,
Yo, I didn't know it was like on some hustler shit. Like those two
yeah,
brothers who were like, they were hustlers on the street and they came up with, the Rough Riders and, going. What I didn't know, was that they had a whole street team where they would go from city to city before the Rough Riders or
yeah.
GMX would come to their city and be like, all right, where the bikers at? Let's get all the bikers, get all the motherfuckers with bike clubs and all of that and get them
Yeah.
like tickets or get them flyers, get them Rough Riders shirt. And it became this huge thing. So when Rough Riders Anthem came out, I mean, you saw the video when it's like,
Everybody,
it's just blowing up. It was just, yeah, it's sad, man.
everybody had it.
Huh?
Everybody had those Rough Rider shirts. They had the Rough Rider logo. Like it was just like, I remember my dad bought a motorcycle back then too.
Uh-huh.
It was like 2002 or something like that. He bought a motorcycle and he was just like throwing up Rough Riders and all that shit. He made it lame for a second, honestly.
Uh-huh.
But
How old was your dad at the time?
it's like late 30s.
Oh, okay, then that's fine. Yeah, I mean that's fine.
38.
Not like it's not legit if it's older, but it was just yeah.
Yeah. This is around the time, DMX, he started wearing the chains and all that shit.
Or you bought dogs.
Leather for no reason. Well, we had a lab because we lived it out in the suburbs. So like we had like, we would show up to like a bike rally with like a black lab who's just like licking everybody and trying to play catch.
Oh wait, so you in the suburb listening to GMX?
Yeah. That's how it rolls.
1998 to 99, around that time, was like, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I can relate to this DMX, all the pain and suffering and yeah. What was your favorite joint?
Oh man, I would say honestly,
Yeah,
they're
honestly,
all great, but the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
oh, the one he did on the
that is some
table.
shit. Yeah.
Oh,
That is just like some DMX shit right there.
hold on, let me see if I can find it. This was like when he was like slapping on the table. I forgot it. What was the interview for? He was at a radio station or something, and then he started doing this Rudolph. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this was like legendary.
Printed the lyrics.
Lyrics.
Would you do us the honors of spitting Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Come on! Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose.
Come on!
And if you ever saw him, you would even say it close. Come on! All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. Then receive. Santa came to say, come on! Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you ride my sleigh tonight? Then all the reindeers loved him, and they shouted out weekly, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you go down in history forever. You go down in history forever. You go down in history. What?
What? Oh yeah, fucking love it.
See, that's why this is a legend. Legend. Stuff like that makes you just like legend to me.
Like, yeah, you can't not smile when you see this, when you hear and you see this kind of shit. You know, there's just this other video of him on a roller coaster with his daughter, and his daughter freaks out, and he holds his hand and goes, "Daddy's here, Daddy's here." He had like 15 kids.
Yeah.
15 kids. But this is, you know, when you talk about rappers that like live, I don't say live the right life, but like that stay true to themselves and actually, you know, you live through their lyrics. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like there's only a few of those. It's not like he was playing to be a rapper. He was actually like, he got to share everything that was going on in his life. When you hear something like Damien, you know, stop being greedy. I'm falling. I'm slipping. I'm falling. I can't get up. Like, this is somebody who's like, you know, who's true to his emotions. Like, he wasn't playing no character. And so it's sad, but I think that, you know, it's one of those deaths that I think that hits everybody to some degree, whether you're a DMX fan or not. But everybody was touched by DMX in some shape or form. In some shape.
His death was so huge it outshined Prince Philip. Like,
yeah, fuck him. Who gives a shit about about the?
I was just like, yeah, next time, oh God, Prince Philip, fuck him. Like,
he was twice his age. Prince Philip was like 99 or 100. I'm like, yeah, of course, let him fucking go away. Who cares? Nobody knew he was still alive to begin with.
His death was bigger than a member of the royal family who's considered a god on this one little Polynesian island. Like, that's just what's crazy to me. That's how huge DMX was and how influential. Like, you were just like, oh yeah, fuck this dude. Like, even like, this is DMX, yeah. And they're like gonna in Yonkers, I think they're gonna like rename. I mean, they always do that, rename a street after somebody, but so that'd be cool, man.
Yeah, it has to happen. Did you watch the verses, him versus Snoop?
Nah, I did. I mean, I saw clips of it, but I mean, I didn't really watch many of the verses things.
Really?
Except I watched Gucci and Young Jeezy. So I thought I was gonna get killed.
I did not care for that one, man. To me, it's the for those who don't know, and I think we talked about it last time. Versus is this thing that Swiss Beats and Timberland put together when the pandemic started, and is basically putting two artists going head to head, 20 songs, and it was a way, you know, it's a way to celebrate artists while they're alive. You know, so they've had Ludacris versus Nelly, DJ Premier versus RZA, Keisha Cole versus Ashanti, Nicole versus Brandy. The last to date was Earth, Wind, and Fire versus Isley Brothers. And then on 420 is going to be Method Man versus Redman. So, but there was a DMX versus Snoop. And it takes a whole different like dimension, you know, now that it's gone. Because you're like, okay, at least he got his props, and people were able to enjoy the man and his craft and what he brought to the game, you know, before he passed. Because, you know, a lot of times, we're going to release an album after his death, all unreleased shit, and like, no, nobody cares. It's sad, but
yeah, it's sad, especially because it was like addiction that got him, and he had like towards the end of his career, like he had very like public displays of like how much this was affecting him, like how much his like addiction was affecting his life. He was on a reality show. I think that might have been, I don't know if that would have been his lowest moment, but yeah, he was on like a reality show, you know, one of those exploitive things where it's just like, I'm gonna help you, but after we get millions of dollars in views and shit. But yeah, so it just sucked because it was just like, damn, like he never beat it. You know what I mean? Like, we were all pulling for him and he never beat it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in and out of rehab. I don't know what it was, an OG of what though? Is it pain meds, cocaine? I don't even know what it was on. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But yeah, he had his demons. I mean, there were like maybe 2 MTV awards in a row that he didn't show up at. Do you remember that? In the 2000s, like what at the height of his career, like he would. It was like if in the Chronicles, I think he talks about how he would freak out because he wasn't used to getting that type of love from people.
Mm-hmm.
And when it got to the point where, holy shit, people love me, I don't know what to do with this. I have to find a way to self destroy or whatever. And he wouldn't wouldn't show up at tapings. He wouldn't show up at award shows because he was out getting high somewhere. And you're like, yeah, I mean, with this whole mental health thing happening, um, with COVID and all of that, like it's totally not that it's understandable, but yeah, it's a sad thing. You're like, you never know what someone's going through at the end of the day. So, shit.
Yeah. Do you think they'll list DMX as a COVID death? Just
I'm not gonna speculate. Well, I'm about to anyway.
just
You asked me the
asking.
question. You asked me the question. No, I think it's an accumulation of stuff. Of
Yeah.
I don't know what happened after the verses. That verses was what last just a few months ago, really.
Yeah, I don't think it was very long ago,
No,
was
it
it?
wasn't. It wasn't that long ago, but I don't know if anything happened from that or he had deals or because usually after a verses, like your numbers go up on Spotify, and people start paying attention to you more. You start getting more deals. Companies want to hire you to do stuff. Um, that's not really a way to know. I mean, regardless, that here's a man who had his demons that he wasn't. He was always upfront about it, and he lived the life. I mean, yeah, 50 is fucking young. It's young as hell.
Yeah,
That Prince Philip was
very young.
100. Fuck him. He could have left a long time ago.
Yeah, for real. Joe Rogan's 53, and he's doing fucking, he's dragging elks, slitting elks' throats in the mountains of Montana. So
Yeah.
fucking wild.
No, seriously. No, but it's one of those deaths that you like in the music world that you can't picture a world without that person. Like even if you know what they're going through, what's happening, like nobody could have pictured a world without Prince, and then he died. And then you couldn't picture a world without Prodigy for Mob Deep if you were a hip hop fan, and he went away. And now DMX. Same thing when Dilla died. Same thing when, Michael Jackson died too. And you're like, oh shit, yeah, it's that time. They're going away. The people that I idolized growing up are going away, and it's just sad. But can you imagine the day Snoop dies?
Mhm.
Seriously,
Mhm.
like every time,
Yeah,
yeah, no, I can't.
I
It
mean,
would
I could imagine it'd be like what similar like when what happened with Nipsey Hussle. I imagine it'd be the same with what happened with Snoop.
it would be much bigger with Snoop though.
But yeah,
Way
yeah,
bigger than Nipsey. Like I wasn't a Nipsey fan. I knew who he was. I knew maybe a couple of his records, but Snoop is like, that there's the meme going around about like when you finish the main mission, you start doing side quests, and it's Snoop like
hmm
doing wrestling or commenting on boxing shit
yeah,
or hosting his own show with Martha Stewart or doing all kinds of different doing commercials for Corona, whatever other brand is doing, and it's like, and he has
yeah,
his own football league, and it's like Snoop can do anything at this point and always make it cool. And
yeah,
so,
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's I just like I guess imagining him die because he's like young, he's doing well. I mean, unless there's like an accident that happens, of course. But
hey man,
so like,
2022 Kobe.
yeah, it's for real.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So
then
it's
everything
weird.
went downhill from there. So shit, you're not promised tomorrow.
Yeah, really did.
Dr.
Really
Dre
did.
was in a hospital just a few months ago, and people were
Yeah.
freaking out about it. I'm like, fucking Dr. Dre.
Zach, fucking, he's going through a divorce. Divorce. I swear to God, like divorces age people so much. I know people who like back home, like
Uh-huh.
where I'm from, who are like getting divorces, and like they visibly look older. I mean, it ages you like 5 years. It puts you by. I don't know what you go through. It puts you through some shit. And so I guess like he's going through that divorce with his wife right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he like friggin' like, had a stroke or something like that.
Yeah, stroke or aneurysm or one of those things at the
Yeah, yeah.
head, and that's the thing. Like
Uh,
you're, what they're no matter, you can have the best doctors in the world. If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. It's not on you. unless you do something,
Mm-hmm.
really stupid. But accidents happen. But shit, damn, we didn't
Yeah.
mean, I didn't mean to start the podcast on a somber note like this.
No,
Let's talk
that's
about
all
the
good.
death. Let's talk about death.
Nah,
Um,
it's cool.
wait, so where you from originally? Where'd you grow up?
Originally this place called Blacksburg, Virginia.
If you start
It's
saying this place called, that means nobody knows where it's
yeah.
at.
Well, like
Nobody heard of it.
it's where Virginia Tech is. So like if you know, it's like this big college, Virginia Tech. So I'm originally from there, and it's just like a cow town. Later, this was like again, I was a kid, it was like 20 some odd years ago, but like it was an ag town the whole time. It was just farmland and fucking country people, and then a school that's literally a farming school.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like from up there, like out there
Still
in
the
that
suburbs,
area.
right? You said earlier.
Well, initially no. Initially it was just country. Like we lived a couple spots we weren't doing too well, so we were like hopping around like the outskirts of the county and all that. So we were just living, I mean, mainly just like far out spots, just like that. So we're not really suburbs, just kind of just wherever the hell some redneck built a house, we lived in it.
So what was it about comedy for you then, growing up?
No, I always liked comedy. I mean, growing up, I mean, all I ever watched as a kid, like as a kid was just like BET and like black media and all that stuff. Like that's all we
Comic,
had.
like Comic
Yeah.
View and
So
all that shit.
yeah, like Comic View. I mean, before that too, like I'm like Red Fox was like the first kind of
Oh
uh
wow, okay.
comic I got put on to. I mean, this was I was a kid, and they were just like, "This is Red Fox." Remember those TV shows like Martin and
Yep.
Steve Harp? Like, yeah, that was what I was on like
Hanging out with
for
Mr.
years.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Or
So
hanging with Mr. Cooper, yeah.
yeah, I always was like cracking jokes with people and just like screwing around as a kid. Everybody does that, but yeah, it's kind of what got me into it, and I just like decided to take the leap, get up on stage, which is the hardest part, and then been
What
doing
made
it ever since.
what made you take the leap then?
Honestly, a lot of edibles. I was high as hell.
You're like, I gotta be high as fuck for my first time.
I was high as hell when I went up. I had like probably like 50 milligrams or something like that.
Yeah, you were not
At least
fucking
I didn't. Yeah.
around.
So like I went up on stage at this one spot, and I was just like fucking. I was baked, and then I went up, and like first time, only way I could build up the nerve to do it, because I'd seen it. I knew it was there. Like the comedy spot was like around the corner. I knew it was there. I mean, I occasionally stop in just to like grab a drink because there was a bar.
Uh-huh.
So then I went up, and then I just like did it. I was high, and like I actually did very well. Like
Really?
there
Do
was
you
a
remember the
recording
jokes?
of it.
Do you remember
No,
the
I
jokes?
don't.
You have a
It was just
recording.
crowd work.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, like there was a recording of it that like the venue showed me
Oh, okay.
because he was like, I'll sell you this, and I didn't buy it. Of course, he was like, I'll sell you this, but that was just my first time doing comedy. I was like, why am I gonna pay someone $20 for this? Like, like I didn't
Mhm.
get it. I didn't get that was like a hustle for him. What you do when you're doing comedy. But he played it back, and he was like, yeah, it was really funny. It was really funny, and it was actually I remember I was like, oh, that was pretty funny. People told me that. My friends who were with me told me that. And then the next time, like the next time I went sober, unfunny for I'd say like 6 months.
So okay, hold on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I went on.
Wait, no. But so how long? First of all, how long ago was this?
Oh, this is 4.5 years ago.
What? Oh, a year and a half ago?
4.5.
Oh, 4.5. Okay, four and a half years
Yeah.
ago. So you went up, you were high as fuck, got off. You're like, okay, this is dope. I really enjoy. I got laughs. I don't remember my jokes, but whatever. I'm high as fuck. Come
Mm-hmm.
back sober, and it doesn't work. Like how many minutes did you get? Same spot?
I got 4. I remember I got 4 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, and I went back because I mean I didn't know what I was saying. I was just like literally like thinking about stuff I was doing that day. I don't know. I was thinking it was like was at a store. I was getting hot. Something about smoking weed, doing this, and then in San Francisco, like we had these big ass fucking raccoons, dude. Like I'm telling you, San Francisco has the biggest raccoons I've ever seen. Cause like I don't know. So like I was telling jokes about that. I was just riffing on fucking raccoons, and it was funny. But then like I was just like in a different mindset. Cause I was just like literally in a different. My mind was like astral projecting. Like I wasn't even in my body. You know, I was just like watching over it.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I'm like sober and normal, like I just like it just doesn't come across the same.
Wow. How'd you get over that after 6 months?
I took a break for a while. I was like, this might not be for me. And then I moved back to North Carolina and I picked it up again.
And because it was a different scene, maybe it worked better or
Yeah. Well, no, it was actually because I would still get high. I would still be like on edibles when I'd go up.
uh-huh.
I went sober and I was like, this doesn't go well. And then I was like, I'm just gonna be really high again. I'm gonna do it. I'm like, that's how you do it. Like I'm gonna be high every time I go. And then I would get really high and it just wasn't as funny because I'm not. It's just, I'm super high. Like sometimes it comes across. So
Man, I
I only
can't.
went like 8 or 9 times.
But are you still high when you do this? No, because I haven't noticed.
No, not really. I
Not
mean, I might
even.
have like smoked that day, but like not just, you know.
Now it works. Sober,
hmm
somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat.
You
I mean,
don't
that's
sound
the best
excited
way.
at
That's
all.
like, yeah, that's the best way to do it though. Like I learned because like even still, like as I progress through comedy to get over my nerves and get over just like relax more, but you'll never be relaxed enough. There's not enough alcohol to make you relaxed enough to go up on stage. You're just gonna be drunker and more anxious.
Hmm.
So that's what I would do for a while. And then like slowly you get to the point, it's like, oh yeah, the best way to do this is sober. Kind of get that feeling over, just take your licks
Yep.
and deal with it.
I mean that's I did that a few times because I know that when I'm high, not that I'm funnier, but like I don't stutter as much. Like
Yeah.
I actually think of my sentences as I'm speaking. So just now, if I were high, sentence would have come out just clear. But just because I'm sober, I tend to stutter a little bit. But I'm going through some other shit with languages and swapping French and English that fucks up my head. But yeah, it's it's a weird
Yeah.
thing because it's the same with comics who who can't do it without being drunk. And you think that yeah, they're drunk, so they raw with their emotions, they're raw with their jokes, and it comes out funny just because of the state they're in. But if you want to be that comic, so be it. Be a drunk comic, be a high comic, but at the end of the day, it's like, you pick your lane. And then if you want to work things out and really do it, I think sober is the way to go. So not that I'm
Yeah.
the not that I'm the judge on that by any means, but
Yeah.
to each his own.
Especially for your health. Especially for your health if you think about it. If you gotta be drunk every time you go do comedy, and as much as you need to do comedy to get good at it, yeah, you your career is gonna be like 15 years before you're dead.
Yeah, easy. You end up, yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, but what else do you do besides comedy then?
I work a lot. I don't want to say I work a lot, but like, yeah, I work in tech, um, and then I have a job bouncing at the bar. Um,
What bar?
and but it's called Lefties. It's on Sixth Street. It's like a chiller, low key spot. Um,
You're the door
Good
guy.
chicken wings. I'm the door guy. I'm the whatever guy.
You do
Somebody
whatever.
asked me to like, yeah. Somebody asked me to hold their dog the other day, so
You the whatever guy. I don't know what that means. Like you're a
I'm
door
like
guy,
whatever people
bartender,
need.
take the trash.
Well, take the trash and bar back. So like the bartender be like, hey Jay, can you go grab me this? I'm like, all right. And then like after my people put their masks on, we took out the mask. I have to just, of course, like make sure people aren't smoking. And then when people are at the tables and they're like, hey, can I get napkins? I got to go get them napkins. I'm basically the slave. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, Jared, I'm gonna need you to clean the bathroom. Somebody just threw up. Tell me
Yeah,
that
that's
hasn't
the only
happened.
thing I don't have to do. That's the only thing I don't have to do unless it's like, I don't know, bad. Like, I don't know.
It's
I
got
don't
to be
know.
really bad for somebody to call you. So, okay, well, where's the slave?
Yeah.
Let's get him to clean some bathrooms. He's the whatever guy.
I'm the whatever guy. It's all good. And then if there's a fight, I'm supposed to be the one who breaks it up. Like we had this. I don't even know if she was homeless, but we had this drunk woman come in. Like this is like 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Drunk woman came in swinging on me.
For
Like
what?
I'm just like nothing. Like I asked her. She came in and she had like a water bottle, right? And we can't have like outside drinks in
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
sometimes people will try to sneak, alcohol in. I was just like, "Ma'am, sorry, you can't do that." And then she was like talking to each table, and I was just like, and then I went up closer. I was like, "She smells like straight like a bottle of fucking whiskey. Like she drank the distillery because like." So then like I like basically I'm like bouncing her, and I have to actually physically kind of like, no, we need to push you. You don't like put your hands on them, but you just like get in front of them and you kind of steer them and give them a
Yeah, like a
little one of
cattle.
these.
Just kind of like put your hands out and you're like, all right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna direct you
it's
this way and then
yeah,
this
it's
way.
kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Look at my
Like you're
hands. My
playing
hands are
defense
like,
in basketball.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
basketball defense. Like I'm in the post, and right now this is where we're at. Hands up, but I got another one. I'm letting you know I'm there. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm escorting her house. She just starts making a scene a little bit. One of my managers, this tiny little dude. He's like 5'1", 5'1" dude. And he's just like, "You need to leave. You need to leave." So we're throwing her out. And then this is funny because like when I'm like pushing her out, like I'm not pushing her out, but I have like my hand on her back. She
Uh-huh.
like trips and falls,
Oh.
right? And everybody was like, oh. I was like, nope. I was like, then you saw it because like I literally had like there was no push. It was just like I was literally it's like defense. Like
Yeah.
you could see like I didn't have any contact, so she like trips because we had like this sketchy gravel floor in this one area,
Uh-huh.
so it's like loose gravel and rocks. So she goes down, and then that was just enough. She kind of flopped, honestly, just to make a fucking scene. And then she kicked me when she was on the ground. I was like, "What the hell?" And the manager got her up. He was like, "You need to leave." And she started swinging on me.
White girl,
And
right?
I was just like, "Yeah, well, white woman, yeah,
Oh,
be
so
50,
how old you think?
upper 40s,
Upper 40s by herself.
by herself, yeah, potentially having a mental episode,
Uh-huh.
but the alcohol did not help either." So like that's like shit that I have to do. Like I was just like trying to take out the trash when I had to like, oh okay, pivot and like throw somebody out, and then I'm like about to get fucking, I had to stay with it.
Did
Make sure
she
she
did she
knew.
land one on you?
No, hell no. Well, I stepped back. She came with the right, not just whoop like Mayweather.
Like, bitch,
I was
you don't
like,
even know. I could. And so what happened?
that's it. We were just like, they're like, if she comes back, we got to call the cops because like, you can't do that. But she was walking in the street, like in the middle of the road. I was like, we don't need to call the cops because this bitch is about to die. Um, so we're good.
God damn. I mean, this is what I love about Sixth Street. How long you been in Austin? So just of a year now, something like that.
2 years, 2 years.
2 years, 2 years. Okay. So back in my day, it wasn't called Dirty Six. It was just Sixth Street. I don't know when the flip happened that they call it Dirty Six, but yeah, I have a dirty shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Dirty Bills. Um, but I remember like I've seen riots on Sixth Street, like full on fucking riots. And I remember like on one side, I forgot what it was about. It had to be one of those like big. Oh, I think it was either Mardi Gras or Halloween, one of those big holiday things.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Mardi Gras, but it was literally you had on one side of on the east side of Sixth Street. When I say east, it's like maybe Nietzsche's like east going towards 35 and had the cops. And on the other side was everybody else. And they were flipping cars, like pepper spray and all. I'd never seen that downtown. But that happened about twice that I can remember. But I was always fascinated by, like, you could just stand on 6th Street and just watch shit happens, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning. You ever done that?
Yeah, I try not to because, like,
Oh,
honestly, like it gets wild. Like, if the people, those people shouldn't mix. All those people should not be mixing at 2 o'clock in the morning with alcohol because something always kicks off.
but it's, you want some material? Shit. Just I would post up. I used to just post up on the corner at two because it was my favorite time of the night. Because the rest of the time you're just going from bar to bar. I mean, if you like people watching, you see it in the bar, you see it in the club, whatever. There's a couple fighting, there's a group of bachelorette party. Just there's always that one bitch that's never happy, and there's the one that always goes to the DJ booth. Can you play my song? I want. Can you play something we can dance to? I'm like, I'm not even the DJ, but I felt for them because every time I see one of those, I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But you stand on a corner, and then that's when it starts. You see couples fighting, you see girls walking out, like, oh, where's Becky? And then she got to run back in to get her. Or, somebody's holding this girl's hair because she's throwing up in the alley, and then guys trying to hit on girls.
The woman throwing up in the alley.
But it's the best. It's the fucking best. It's the best thing to watch. I call it 2 o'clock
Yeah.
theater. It's the best. Like, if you don't, unless you're in it, but otherwise, unless you're in it, because
You never know when you'll be in it.
oh yeah, when you're in it, it's no fun. It's no fun.
A fight breaks out, and, like, you're too close, you're in it. I've been in that situation too many times.
Oh really? Like what?
Yeah, I was in Oakland, California. I was just standing there eating, I call it street meat. It's like the hot dog dude who sells like
Yeah, yeah,
this 2 a.m. same about the same time. I was just like, when you're drunk, those fucking hot dogs are so good. I don't know what it's
anything is
about,
good
but
when
they're
you're
so
drunk,
good.
man. Anything is
Yeah,
good. Any 2 o'clock food, you don't have Whataburger for lunch. You always have it at 2 a.m. That is the rule.
yeah,
Or IHOP or wherever
yeah.
you go.
For real. So, like, yeah, I was just standing there getting like a hot dog, man, and the fight just breaks out. And there's like so many people around. I turn around like I am first in line. There's one other person in front of me. So I
Uh-huh.
guess I'm second. And then there's like a wall, and then there's like the people around us because it's just whatever. So the fight breaks out behind us. And it's like
Mhm.
we got nowhere to go. There's like the hot dog dude with his big hot dog stand.
Mhm.
And then, like, so I was just like pinned. It was just like a bunch of shit going on. I was like, someone's gonna hit me. Luckily, I didn't. I saw other people get hit though. That's always funny. That is always funny when there's a fight breaks out and like someone else gets hit that ain't you.
Had nothing to do with the fight, and they just like, what the fuck? I was just here.
Just too close. Just too close.
No, but I like when uh usually when dudes fight, the other guys who are just like it starts a little circle around them, like in the middle of the street. And the thing about downtown Austin is that the cops don't show up right away. Even though they barricade, 6th Street after like at 9 o'clock or whatever. But they don't call. It takes about like 5 to 10 minutes, and in that time, like somebody's getting knocked the fuck out. There's somebody's in this, somebody, and then as soon as the cops show up, then everybody starts running. But if it's a girl fight, that shit keeps going and going and going, and it's actually more brutal. And no
Yeah.
offense, but it's actually fun to watch because nobody steps in.
Yeah.
No dude steps in unless it's your girl.
Yeah, because we know no one's gonna get hurt. Like, we know someone's gonna like,
What's gonna?
there's no like risk here.
Yeah,
It's
you're
just
gonna
like,
get some
you know,
hair
get
pulled.
some nails gone, some jewelry. Somebody's gonna have their ass out. Someone's gonna slip a titty. Like, that's just like, that's what we know is gonna happen, and it's gonna be comical at best. At best. When dudes fight, like, it's always like there's a chance it's gonna escalate. His friends jumping in, their friends jumping in, somebody getting shot. I've never seen in my life, ever in my life, a chick fight just like get out of hand.
Yeah,
Never.
I've seen wigs pulled. Like the girl just took her wig off. Like, all right, come on, bitch, let's go. I've seen that. It's let me take my heels off. I'm gonna be throwing kicks. I'm gonna try to throw kicks to the head. And Yeah, and then just funny because no guy tries to stop it, and usually even the boyfriend's like, "Oh, come on, don't do that." Da, da, da. It's just funny.
It is wild and
Was it?
comical.
I mean, it is, and that's in every country. But the thing is, when you have that many bars like back to back, like for miles, and you're like, okay, you going to the club, and it's dollar this. I mean, when I used to go out, I remember some bars were like a quarter for Long Island iced tea, a quarter. I shit you not, or dollar you call it. It's like dollar, like some shitty Wells drink, and you just pound them. When my friend from France came to town, that was like 2002, and I mean, you go to any bigger city, even Dallas or even New York, like a drink is like $12, right? Like a cocktail is like at least
Hmm.
$10, right? And you come down here and you can get drunk with $10, including shots. Like it's like, we have dollar shots, we have quarter this, and we have dollar you call it. And so I used to do the math. Like if you when you go out, and usually people don't go out early, right? So
Hmm.
usually it's like, all right, you're gonna get downtown, let's say 11 o'clock, right? And you're in a group of four people, fit in a car, you're on your way out, you're jamming in the car to whatever song. Oh, we're gonna go out, we're gonna get fucked up, blah blah blah. And that is the goal. By the time you get out the car, you walk into the club, you wait in line, you open your tab, order your first round of drinks, and then you're on the dance floor, whatever. You go to the bathroom, come back, dance a little more, and you close the tab and you hop to the next joint, and you repeat that maybe 3 to 4 times in one night. So between 11 o'clock and 2 a.m. At the end of the night, you really partied for an hour and a half,
Hmm.
because the rest of it was all logistics. Bathroom breaks, open the tab, close the tab, order a drink. I don't know what my friend wants. So I got to go and ask her. Someone doesn't like the place, so you all got to go to the next spot and repeat again. And then somebody wants to eat. Somebody's bitching because the ex boyfriend is in that same spot or whatever the fuck. And so you take all that shit away. You only have an hour to an hour and a half of solid partying. And
Yeah,
that within that hour and a half, you're just pounding drinks. You're just pounding drinks and you don't realize how much you're
and
drinking. Next thing you know,
that's the only
last
way to do it.
call, yeah, last call, you get your last shot in, and then everybody gets dumped on the street. Everybody that went through that
Yeah,
exact cycle of logistical, process with your friends, especially if you're in a big group and you have to like herd people around and shit, an hour and a half, maybe an hour. And within an hour, you spent $10 on shitty ass drinks. You're fucked up by 2 o'clock, and everybody's out. Everybody's out.
and they want to fight or fuck. Nothing, no in between.
Or eat.
Yeah,
Fight, fuck, or eat.
depends on what you're trying to eat. Depends on what you're trying to eat. Like,
Good idea. But you know what?
uh,
It's funny to see people like as soon as they get out, like the first thing they do is they get on their phone. See, okay, who's out? You up, or where should I go, or where my friends at? So, wait, so you work the door? You work on the weekends, or is it just during the week at that place?
weekends, Friday, Saturday, normally.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah, it's not. See, that's the thing about E6 is it's more chill over there. We're not a late night 2 a.m. spot either.
Uh-huh.
So it's just more chill further east because it is kind of east.
Oh, it's on
So
the east
yeah,
side. Okay. No, I thought
yeah,
you were on
yeah. I
36
wouldn't.
for a second.
Oh no, 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 36. I'm on just E6. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would never work the door at on 36 ever.
Was that
You
your
got
first?
too much shit. You got bikers down there too. Like, isn't that the weirdest? Like, that's the watching I see. That's why you hang out from 2 a.m. This is
Uh-huh.
why I see these people come, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a problem by 2 a.m. So
Uh-huh.
I'm smart and leave. So, like, they got these bikers, like an outlaw motorcycle gang who just chills on 36 too.
Yeah.
They just like hang out. It's like, hey,
Oh, you know what the worst at that are? Black people.
that is true.
So we have you ever been here for Relays weekend? If you only been here for 2
Texas
years,
relays.
yeah,
Yeah, I was here for the first year relays.
the first
Last
year,
year relays.
yeah. So Relays had such a bad rep in Austin. Like it was literally all the black people in the South would come down to Austin and just take over. When I say take over, the gas stations are just full of niggas just hanging out. And like badass tricked out cars, blasting music. If you wanted to like to draw a caricature of, and I say caricature, I love my black people, but it's black people and it's niggas. The joke.
Yeah.
Uh, if you were to draw a caricature, it was that. It was like, tricked out car, blasting bass, can't even hear shit. Just parked at a gas station, not doing anything, not even pumping gas, just hanging out. Some bars would even board up their doors, like not even open during relays. And the thing is, most people will just hang out on the street, not even going to the bar, just hanging out on the street. Give out flyers, just like trying to pick up chicks, blast their music. And I'm like, I've done it. I've done it years and years in a row. Nobody cares about the actual sporting event. It's just
the track and field event. That's been
no,
going
nobody
on
gave a shit about that.
at the stadium.
You're like, it's Relays weekend. Fuck, stay home. I had friends like, I'm not going out. I am not going out on Texas Relays weekend because it was like, yeah, that's all niggas just on the street, just taking over. Like people will call it.
So yeah.
People will
If I
call it bars
worked during
racist.
that, like because if you don't tip, then like I don't know. But to say like if there's like because I remember someone told me that I was at a barber shop and they were talking about Relays weekend and how the places closed down. And he was like because they don't tip and it was like they fight because apparently like it does like attract a more reckless like on the bar side like apparently it's like the crowds get kind of rowdy.
It's hood niggas, which that's just really what it is.
There's like descending like there's got to be like a black people cool with these hood folks. Like I don't know, some of them like we got to keep like capacity. Like one for
that?
every. I have no clue.
You can't. You can't.
You gotta break it up.
No, I mean there have been so many issues in Austin about dress code and shit. Like they'll put up on the door, like no white tees, no sneakers, no hats, no jerseys, and it's basically describing how black people dress. And yet you go inside and you see white guys with the same outfit, but they're okay.
Oh yeah, that shit happens all the time.
Oh yeah, I mean this is not. There's plenty of bars that got in trouble because of that. In Austin and Dallas. But it is a thing. And every black club, when I say every, is literally every club that turned out to be quote unquote black, like this is the black joint, this is where everybody goes, didn't survive. Never did. And it's the same people, because it's basically the same. When I say black club, I mean like either run by black folks or they play hip hop, Thursday basically all week long, and it's like all the promoters who actually throw in black events are going after that same audience, and those clubs rarely make it. There's still there's a couple now that I know of. Maybe there's more. I don't know, but it's always been tough. It's always been tough for us, but what are you gonna do? It's Austin.
That sucks, man.
We're only 7% black now.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I don't even know. I mean, I guess it's just like kind of what I guess Austin's going to be known for. Just like I don't know if you can hear that dog barking.
That's all right. No, I can't. But go kick that dog, please. Just go ahead and take it outside.
But Yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool to have like more diversity here, just in general. Because like I feel like that's I mean, we look at the black white thing because that's like the obvious thing to spot, but like I don't think there's much of a diversity of even of the type of people here.
No, there's not.
Like it's all like one kind of brand of people. It's like
Why the
upper
Mexican?
middle class white kids from who all look. I mean, a lot of them look, think, talk the same, just like from the same kind of
Yeah,
cut from the same cloth, you'd say.
yeah.
And then
No,
so like that's what's like a little bit weird to me. It's like because like I don't really see any like white dudes who like are got a fade and Jordans. I don't see many of that either.
no.
Like I hate to use the Chet Hanks kids, but like I don't see many of them. I don't see many of them. The white boy summer boys. It's not gonna be white boy summer in
No.
Austin.
I mean,
Many white people, a lot of white boys. So
I know exactly what you're talking about. And
yeah,
it's, I mean, nobody, not that Chet Hanks is the reference when it comes
yeah,
to a white guy who wants to be black so bad. Um, but yeah, no, we don't really have that. I'm trying to think, even if we did back in the day, maybe some, even the hip hop scene, even if you just take the hip hop scene, we had somewhat of a hip hop scene, but I don't know where it is now. And all the places that were considered like hip hop, spots like Plush, um, Mercury, which is Parish now, uh,
hmm
they're gone. So I don't know where where black folks hang out. Maybe, I mean, actually, yeah. Since they can't afford to live in Austin, they go up to Pflugerville, Hutto, Round Rock.
yeah,
That's where
yeah.
it's at now. But yeah, no,
That's what I
we
heard
don't really
too.
have a diversity here, much of it, honestly. And it's getting tougher and tougher because you got to be able to afford to live in Austin. I'm trying to buy a house right now, but shit is tough as fuck.
Yeah, it's like impossible to buy a house right now. From what I
Don't
heard,
tell me
people
that.
are
I'm
just
trying to
putting
get.
cash. I'm sorry, people putting like cash offers on that are just like way over asking price.
Yo, I lost two bids in the past month by $2,500. Second one just yesterday by $2,000, and their homes going up 200 uh 200,000 200K over the asking price. And if you want to live within Austin city limits, like I'd say like 183, 71, Mopac, and 35, half a mil, man, for a shitty house. For a shitty house. Location, but then you're gonna fucking spend money on renovation. But it's crazy. It's, oh man, I should have bought
Yeah, it's
something a long
wild.
time ago. But fuck, well, all you
Yeah.
fuckers moving here. I'm kidding.
Hey,
I'm not
I
mad at
got
that. I am not
no.
mad at that.
I'm I moved because I pretty much got gentrified out of the community I wanted to live in too.
Oh,
So like
really?
I can kind of I'm like a refugee. So
In
back in
California?
North Carolina, we got
Oh, North Carolina.
no
Right.
no no, no North Carolina. So
Uh-huh.
back in North Carolina, we had a city called Durham. Durham, that was where like the Durham is like Austin if you added more black people. Plain and simple.
Really?
It's like yeah. So Durham is like they have like a little. It's like the way the cities are. There's one city, Raleigh, our capital, and then there's Durham.
Mm-hmm.
Durham is where like all the black people, a lot of the black community lives.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just been influenced by it. Things are a little bit cheaper. It's a little bit more like it's still nice. I would say it's like it's not like Austin, but like the core community has always been. This is where like the black people live. This
It's
is
like
like
mini
that
Atlanta.
city. Yeah, yeah, more or less. Actually, for real, like more or less.
Uh-huh.
Raleigh was where like a lot of the wealthier white families lived, or I mean, of course it changed and it's a little bit more diverse now, but Durham was getting like because when Raleigh started to get really big popular city, a lot of people were moving there. They started taking over Durham because Durham was 30 minutes east, west of Raleigh. So a lot of people started moving there. Um, Rental prices went just through the roof, dude. Like I remember like to rent an apartment there and in that city was just like 900 a month. And at the time, I was just like, I can't even fucking do it. I was like, yeah, like literally like 900. That's where they were at 900,
For 1-1.
$1,000. What
Wait,
for
100,
one
100, no, $900 per month to rent.
to rent?
That was a long time ago in Austin.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like so, but this is like North Carolina, and it's still not the size of Austin. This is like a small city, so like
Uh-huh.
I was just like, damn, like dude, like I found a place. I got a better paying job here because like the money you can make out there isn't as much as the housing market is.
Yeah.
So like the transplants are coming in with better jobs, all that, like they're able to get the raise that value.
Right.
So like if you're just like from like an everyday average person who just working their way up, man, like that home cost price, that gap was big for us.
Then you come here and it's worse.
Yeah, it came in, but like yeah, I mean, in that sense, it was like there's more opportunities as far as, of course, for comedy,
Yeah. Yeah.
as well as so just like the stuff that's here. But for me, like the price difference from what like even the price difference wasn't big enough to like say I can't do it because I found of course like there was like the cheaper like places to live that like having roommates. I got a roommate now, but
Mhm.
like back there it was just like freaking like I don't know what was going on with it, but like that housing market was crazy.
Well, there's no stopping it. It's happening in every city now. Just Austin happens to be the place to be right now. But shit, after 22 years, almost 23 here, I'm like, fuck. I mean, I'm sticking around because of the opportunity, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. I'm not gonna die here. That's for sure. I need more diversity because I love going to bigger cities like in New York. I love going to New York. Every time I go to New York, it's like I would never live there,
Yeah,
but just the energy of a big city I love that. I grew
yeah,
up in a small town in France outside of Paris, and there were like three black families in the whole town. Three black families. So if a black kid got in trouble, it was me or this other kid.
yeah.
That's all. That's how small it was. Like, oh, you know back? Yeah, of course you know back. But
What's the- what's
back.
the- what's the name of the town?
Oh, there's no way you would know. Noisy-le-Roi. There's no way you would know.
I just like the way like French town names kind of sound. They're kind of long, and
It
I like
means
it.
it means I mean Noisy is just the name and Le Roi means the king. There's
Okay.
Noisy-le-Roi and there's Marly-le-Roi that's right on the other side of the forest. But yeah, it's a very very small town, and um, but I always enjoyed like going to Paris because you see different cultures, people speaking different languages, tourists, of course. It's the same thing when you go to New York. Like you can walk 3 blocks and hear like five different languages and 15 different smells. And it's a
Yeah,
great it's great. I think it's great
yeah.
because
Jesus.
you live in such a bubble out here in Austin that you like. I mean, you're right. There's a lot of white guys that they like. Look, I've met your prototype hundreds of times. Like, what else you got?
Yeah.
And Austin has always been known, even in the music scene, as much as people love hip hop and shit. But it was always known to be, yeah, we're a country like white dude with a plaid shirt and a guitar type of city.
Hmm.
And when you look around, that's what we have. It's a lot of dudes with beards and wearing t-shirts and flip flops all day and a longhorn shirt and khaki shorts or cargo
Hmm.
shorts. So it is not diverse by any stretch of the imagination. There's no fucking way. But
Yeah.
we'll stick around.
That.
Fuck it. We'll stick around. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. I'll be here for a few more years. We'll be here. What was I going to ask you? What else? What else did you do? What else you enjoy doing?
Okay.
Comics,
So
anime, cartoons, games.
uh, I play video games and I do kickboxing too.
Oh,
Muay Thai.
that's right. I want to give you props real quick because you were the first person that I talked to that knew what Senegalese wrestling was.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, how the fuck? Like, people can't even put Senegal on the map. Like, I have a whole joke about nobody know what Senegal is, but
hmm
the fact that that's our national sport and that you actually did it, like what he was, and you tried it, right?
Well, I mean, I started wrestling just because of that, because I saw that
Yeah,
like in
that's right.
high school, I mean, middle school, all that. So they kind of inspired me just to wrestle, and that's kind of how it took me into martial arts and all that stuff. So Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I know it.
What did you? So you never really practiced the way that we do it back home.
No, I didn't. I mean, I don't think there's any way you could do it. I mean, I never knew anyone else who knew it, and I didn't know the rules, and I definitely didn't know anybody else who like could teach me the rules. So
I can't
I was
teach
just like some
shit.
little, yeah. I was just in North Carolina, living in the the suburbs. So like, yeah, no one really knew what it was anyway. So I just kind of watched it and was like, oh, this is cool.
That's cool. Like yeah, they wear in diapers and they throw each other in the sand. But the whole ritual behind it is what's fascinating about it. If you don't know what we're talking about, you can go. Anthony Bourdain did rest in peace, did a episode. It was like what was the name of that show? Parts Unknown, something like that. He had a whole
Yeah.
episode about Senegal and the food and everything. When he goes to a country, he also explores the culture and he talked they show Senegalese wrestling and what it's about and the ritual behind it and everything. Or just Google Senegalese wrestling on go to YouTube. You'll find tons of clips of that. It's really it's bigger than football. It's like our national thing. Like
Hmm.
kids and these kids that are like 250 pounds are like 19 years old
Yeah.
and they're fucking huge.
Just freaks, dude.
Dog,
Just freaks for no
it's
reason.
scary. It's scary. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can play a clip real quick of Senegalese wrestling. Oh, he's punched him in the face. Okay, door.
I forgot you can punch.
Huh?
I forgot you can punch. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you can punch. You can punch. But I think the goal is to not have both knees touch the floor. I mean, touch the ground.
Hmm.
Something like that. But it's fascinating to see live. And I got to see some when I go back home. My uncle trains kids. But it's fascinating to watch. Well, yeah. So you do what? You said jiu-jitsu?
No, Muay Thai and kickboxing. Muay Thai kickboxing.
Oh, you say that like it's nothing. Yeah, I do Muay Thai. Like who else does? Is there like a big Muay Thai community in Austin?
Yeah, well, I mean, like just in general, just like because with like the popularity of MMA, people like start looking at kickboxing, boxing, kickboxing. So, I mean, I do all those classes really. So, but I just started off like I'd say kickboxing, just you know,
How long you been doing it?
4 years, I'd say.
That is not nothing. And then like compete and all that stuff too.
No, I haven't really. I mean, I spar all the time, but I haven't really gone to. I guess what it'd be called a smoker, which is just like basically it's like everyone shows up at a gym at one time and they just like pick and you fight people.
Wait, hold on. You show up at the gym and you go, okay, you come here, I'm gonna kick your ass. Or it's like
Well, like
organized in a
I know
tournament type shit.
it's more organized. So like some places do it like that, just like show up and you'll fight somebody. But you shouldn't really go to those. Yeah, it's kind of sketchy because like there's like apparently there's like a sanctioning body that like sanctions smokers because it's still considered like amateur athletics. So like when they do that, they sanction you got like insurance and stuff like that, and make sure that the gym is up to code or I don't know, but yeah, I mean it's basically what it comes down to it. Yeah, it's like you put your name, weight, like a week before you put your name, weight, experience, and they match you up with someone of the same weight, same experience, and then y'all just fight.
It's like a martial art open mic. Just show up.
Yeah, actually it is. Yeah,
Anybody can show up. Anybody can show up.
Yeah,
Credentials, no
I mean
credentials.
some people will show up. I haven't really fought in one. I mean, I just sparred. I was signed up to do a couple during but the quarantine like literally put an end to it.
Uh-huh.
So like you see some people who would show up though, like who you could tell like did not like were just like they were like just backyard kickboxers.
Uh-huh.
Like they literally just like do this with their friends in their backyard, like on clips and they get from YouTube. So like literally anyone can show up. You don't need to be from like a reputable gym or a reputable coach. You can just be a guy who's out of your mind and will go
So
out
it
there
is
and
an
just
open
get
mic.
big. Exactly. It is an open mic.
Yo,
Except it will go very bad for a few of you suck.
dude, you know what? Don't waste your talents and your skills on 6th Street at 2 a.m. Go sign up for how'd you call it? The
A
smoker?
smoker.
Go sign
Yeah.
up for a smoker and get your ass whooped.
So they have boxing smokers, they have MMA smokers, they have kickboxing smokers. You can't really, and there's certain rules that you can't do, like Muay Thai. There aren't really Muay Thai smokers because you're not allowed to elbow in the amateurs. It's like a weird rule for amateur. I think it's like amateur kickboxing and Muay Thai. It's like you can't elbow.
But you have gear,
Well,
right?
kickboxing, yeah. You have like protective equipment. You wear, gloves, of course, and you get these shin guards.
Uh-huh.
And you can't elbow, and you can only knee to the body. So you can't like knee somebody in the freaking head.
Oh.
And that's pretty much for like all amateur like fighting sports. Like you can't really. There's like a limited amount of things you could do. Depends usually.
Wow, that's I would love to watch that shit. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not.
they have one.
I don't follow like MMA and UFC stuff because I think it's. Don't get me wrong. I know, I'm sure it takes a lot of skills and a lot of practice to get to that level, to where it can use like mixed martial arts and just go in the octagon and fuck somebody up. Like I get the dedication, I get the passion, I get the training and the hard work behind it. I just don't see it. I don't. It doesn't do anything to me. But let's be honest. Anybody likes to see somebody else knock the fuck out, just like at 2 a.m. on 6th Street.
Yeah, I
Like, for
mean,
real.
depends how close you are to it.
Yeah. Did you ever get knocked out?
Nah,
Well,
I mean, you can, unless you suck. Like, I'm not suck, but like you just know what you do. And like, again, I just did sparring, and even when we hard spar, you don't try to KO somebody. I mean, you can. I had pretty decent head movement. I could just cover up well. So like,
yeah.
it's not like people aren't good enough in the. That's what I'll say. People aren't good enough at the amateur level to just like do what someone does on like UFC or like the professional level. Like, it's just like, that's what I try to tell people. Like, it's like the worst thing is you won't be hurt. You'll just be tired because like it's exhausting. Like 3 rounds going rounds, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. It's exhausting. So you just don't see the level of skill that's required to like knock someone out unless somebody is just like incredibly unskilled. Some dude who just does ninjutsu in his basement,
Ninjutsu.
Yeah, doing some Naruto shit. Like you'll see that guy
Can I
get his ass kicked.
can I get Bushino Jutsu? Like, no, that doesn't work in real life, man. You can't. There's no
No, it
shadow
doesn't.
clone jutsu.
No fireballs you can shoot out. No nothing. And you see that. You see guys who just like they're not all the way there, and they just want to like, I don't know. I'm a fight. And you see like, especially like boxing, you step in like, you see guys who are just like, yeah, I like street fight, and then they get in the ring with a boxing match, and someone just freaking just cracks him. It's just like.
You know how hard I would laugh if someone tried to fight me and start going Hadouken on me, like just the motion. I'd be like, look, man, it's in that kind of fight. Like,
You'll have like, I saw a guy who was doing like a whole bunch of this.
What is
he was
that?
like switching his hand. It's just like fucking karate shit. I don't know. I mean, it's not even. It's nothing.
Like the Woodman practice, like Bruce Lee used to do.
Yeah, like literally, like every time it was like traditional Chinese martial arts he was doing. Like every time the guy stepped to the left, he'd go like this, and then he stepped to the right and he'd roll like this, and he'd step with his feet, and he'd
He
like
go,
do this, and then he'd jump,
"Wah!"
and he tried to block a punch like this, like freaking
Like with
karate
his arm
block
up.
it. Yeah, he tried like a guy tried to like like the it's like the lower arm body block. It's like goes like this. A
Yeah.
guy tried to kick. Guy was throwing a kick and he tried to block a kick with one arm. What you're not gonna do is just gonna hurt your fucking arm.
Man, guys got a lot of confidence, man. Sometimes it's fucking funny.
Or stupidity. A lot of
No,
stupidity.
but hey, confidence will make you do stupid shit. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna block this arm and I'm gonna do a Hadouken in your face. I'm gonna. Well, what belt are you? Are you up anywhere?
Oh, there aren't belts in kickboxing or Muay Thai. It's just once you get good enough in Muay Thai, where I said I've taken like an instructor level, it's called you get this title of crew, which is KRU.
Uh-huh.
Basically like it's like the Thai way of saying like teacher or master or something like that. I don't know.
Well, how do you move up then?
No, there's no ranks. It's just like you get better. It's like boxing. It's like you don't really rank up in boxing. You just like get better at boxing.
Like you just fight your class weight and then try to, knock everybody out and then move on to the next class or whatever, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to compete and be like competitive, then what you would do is you would just like train and then you amateur fight. If you keep winning, then you make your pro debut and then you go and be a professional fighter if that's what you want to do.
What do you want to do?
Me, that's not. No, I just learn it just to stay in shape and like not get my ass kicked. Like I don't know.
Especially working at lefties.
Fun and I enjoy it. I mean, I did martial arts for a long time as a kid. I did karate, did some judo in San Francisco. It's like I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. So what's your dope shit you want to share?
Dope shit I want to share
Yeah,
is this movie, a documentary called Class Action Park.
on HBO.
Class Action Park on HBO.
Oh, I saw it. I haven't watched it, but it's on my list. How is it?
Yeah. It is a great documentary on what would happen if you give Italians too much money and too much spare time. They turn a criminal enterprise into a water park and like kill 9 kids and get away with it. It is the funniest documentary on like just this. I don't even know what kind of generation the people this was, but I'm pretty sure they're in prison now. But these kids who were just raised in like the 80s, these latchkey kids in Jersey who just went to this water park designed by a maniac with mob ties who was just like washing money at a water park, no pun intended. It's crazy. World's most dangerous amusement park. Kids were losing teeth. It was fucking nuts.
What?
This kid, he constructed a loop on his own, like a loop that you need like a civil engineer with an engineering degree who understands math and fucking angles and shit, like water pressure amounts. You need like engineers to do this. So he made his own loop, drew it on a fucking bar napkin, a bar napkin.
What could go wrong?
Made it, put it in the park, and was paying like 15-year-old kids who worked there $100 to test it out. That is the loop. And he made that. And there was just like people getting fucked up. Like kids were going like, just like going unconscious, just coming out the other end.
What parents is taking their kids to this park?
It was the 80s.
Oh, it's the 80s.
Like,
That's all you have to say.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. They were at work. They were somewhere. It was a weird generation where you just let your kids out the house still. That was the last generation where you just open the door and tell them not to get in trouble.
Yeah, it's on my list. I'm going to have to check it out. That sounds funny as hell.
Though. Yeah, it got to a point though where the parents were like, "You're not going to that fucking park." Because parents were like talking to each other and they're like, "Yeah, like my kid has a broken arm. Like my kid's missing teeth. Like my kid's got this. My kid's got that." They're like, stay away from that park, but everyone was still going because there was no rules. The park was run by like 16, 17-year-olds. That was all of the employees. The managers were like 17 years old. And
Wow.
like, it's a water park, and people were just, then of course kids died, but the story behind everything else is just so ridiculous that I don't know. Like, who the fuck lives in New Jersey?
It's Jersey in the 80s. What do you expect?
For real.
See, my dope shit. I started watching this. It's a French series called Inhuman Resources, and it's about this 50-something-year-old dude who's been unemployed for 6 years. Has a wife, lives in a shitty apartment that he's trying to get rid of, or at least renovate. And he has a temper, and he starts to like act up at where he works in the factory, and he has an attitude because he's so disgruntled. Like, I can't believe I'm 57. I have two daughters. One of them married to this asshole who's a lawyer or something like that, and no, a banker or whatever. But anyway, the premise of it is so ridiculous. It's about this company who's about to lay off where the dude works, like thousands of workers, like 1,000 workers, trying to lay him off. But he wants to test his team of professionals, like, and he figures that the best way to test their loyalty to the company is to stage a hostage situation. And basically goes, we're going to hire this consulting company, and they're going to come in, they're going to hire, like, basically special forces guys, a team of 3 people with like arm and weapon expertise, but we won't give them like fake guns and fake bullets and blanks. And they're going to walk into a meeting where I have all my, my sales manager, my whatever manager, just on a Sunday afternoon. And that team is like hiring team SEAL Team 6 to come and do a hostage situation and to test them and make sure that they're loyal to the company. And that disgruntled guy ends up being hired to actually monitor the situation and basically run the whole operation, just as like an interviewer, to make sure that the staff is actually loyal to the company and not out for their own asses. So that's the premise of the show. It's a French show. So there's one season out. You can watch it in English, you can watch it in French with subtitles. It's interesting. The main guy is his name is Eric Cantona. He was a famous football player. Football as in with the foot. Football with the foot. Now he's an actor. So and he tells a story from jail or what happened, how he saw it, how he he turned his wife away from him, and all that stuff. And it's interesting. It's interesting. As a French, the acting sucks if you know French, but it doesn't matter. Just the premise alone is so ridiculous that you're like, I gotta watch this shit. So it's on Netflix. It's called Inhumane Resources. Dérapage, if you speak French. So check it out. It's on Netflix. All right, Jared, where can people find you on social media and all that good stuff?
All right, on Instagram, you can find me at They Call Me Jared. That's THEYCALLMEJARED. So all you have to do is remember how to spell my first name, which is JARED, Jared, and then it's They Call Me Jared. And then you can find me on Twitter by the handle of Jared Not Jared. So JARED not JARROD. Because that's how people always assume my name is spelled, is JARROD.
Really?
And it's JARED. Yeah.
First of all, I don't know.
I made that the most confusing Twitter handle possible.
No
Jared,
shit.
not Jared.
How many followers do you have?
I don't know. Probably I should change it. Like, you can't follow me.
Hold on, let me find
400 maybe.
Jared, not Jared, on Twitter.
40.
Yeah, you have 39 followers. Don't get cocky now.
Hey, I'm coming up.
Yeah. Once you hit
I'll
40,
drop that up.
let me follow you so you can hit 40.
There
There
we
you
go. See, I
go.
told you.
40. You're
Speak it
welcome.
into existence.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But anyway, well, good luck to you with the comedy shit. Uh, good luck with the being the whatever guy at Lefties. If people want to come see you on the weekends, just you know, just go there, see Jared, ask for Jared, don't swing at him, and just say the
I'll swing
feedback
at it.
sent you. And yeah, follow him on social media. I'm sure I'll see you around. As always, make sure you follow the feedback BAK everywhere on social media. Be on the lookout for Hip Hop Bingo in June 6th, Sunday. Mark your calendar. I'm gonna be like dripping some info about this. So I know we have a great lineup. I got a dope DJ coming back. If you've been to Hip Hop Bingo before, you know who I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna say it right now. So you'll find out. And yeah, that's it. I'm about to hit up this open mic at the Roma Room. Jared, pleasure. Thanks for coming on. Sorry for the sound shit. It happens, but I can't wait to do this back in person. Maybe at a bar or something like I used to. Things are
Mhm.
reopening, so what the fuck not? And it's more fun
Yeah.
that way. And plus, with all the sound difficulties that I've had lately with comics, I'm like, I can't. I'm gonna put a microphone in your face, and I'll be right across the table from you, so we can actually get decent sound
Yeah.
quality. Anyway,
Yeah.
thanks so much for
Thanks for
being.
having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being on, and we'll catch you next time. Peace. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah.